Hey, what do you say? This is Boz and Ben speaking out. And this podcast today, I'm joined with two of my best friends on the planet. I got JD, Joe Dilla. What's going on with you, man? How you doing?
What's going on, boss? Good to have me again, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I got Big E as well. What's going on, E?
What's good, family? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. And now we got somebody else to add to the podcast. Uh, I'm not quite sure what we're looking at, Miss Virgo Blue, but we looking at the top of your ceiling, but we need to see you or something. How you doing?
Hi, I'm well. How about yourself?
Got
Doing
the
good,
world, got
doing
the
good.
world.
All right, Miss Virgo Blue. I got my boys JD, and I got my boys, my partner E, Big E, and these are my boys, and Virgo Blue and I go back, I don't know, damn near 20 years. Long time, friends for a long time. So basically, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take it out real quick when she get back. I can kind of watch the screen in the green room when she get back. That way she'll be ready to rock and roll. But what I want to do is this is episode 48. This is the final episode of 2021 for Men Speaking Out, and the episode itself is titled "Relationships: A Luxury or Necessity." Now, basically, let's talk relationships. Right? Relationships are necessary, whether it's with your family, whether it's with your friends, loved ones, co-workers. You have to have some sort of relationship in order to function in society, right? And so, but this podcast is kind of narrowing it down to the relationship, as far as an intimate relationship with a couple or so, right? Or with between a man and a woman, or a man and a man, a man, female. Don't matter what your preference is, but it is a relationship between two individuals that are looking to be in an intimate relationship. So, let's talk about that for a second, right? All right. Relationships drive the American culture. Relationships are big bucks, right? They create billions of dollars, whether it's Valentine's Day, Christmases, birthdays, whatever the case may be, anniversaries. It drives big money to the American culture. But are relationships necessary, or are they a luxury? You know what I mean? So let's think about that for a second, right? So let me ask, I'm gonna go around the room or the virtual room, and I'm gonna ask the question, ladies first, and I'm gonna ask Miss Virgo Blue, are relationships necessary?
I believe that they are.
Okay,
I really do.
okay. What about you, JD?
Yeah, yeah, you gotta have a relationship with anybody, a friendship, your family, first and first most, just basically, yeah.
What about you, E? You think relationships are necessary?
Yes, I believe that they're necessary.
Okay, so I also believe it too that relationships are necessary, but also too, let's talk about what's necessary in a relationship, right? Let's talk about that. We say they're necessary, but we haven't really defined why they're necessary. Okay, so right off the top of your head, anybody can answer. That's the $1 million question. Why do you think relationships are necessary? We all said they
I'll take the
are.
first stab at it. I just think
Hmm.
that it's a part of our human fabric. I mean, you think about it. You know, we're creatures of habit for the most part, but we grow and we're able to be our better selves with having a relationship. And it just depends on what the form or shape of that relationship look like and how it's outlined.
Okay, okay. Anybody else want to add to that?
Well, I think the
What?
communication, if with anybody, you can have a relationship with your animal or your pet,
Yep.
long as it's, some type of, well, it could be one on one, it could be your goldfish, it can be, I'm just, if it's a relationship, I'm just thinking, I think it helps better with that person, with each other, or either a thing, even if you're talking to your plant, you know. So, some people say they don't need a relationship. Hey, I can live by myself, but you still got to interact when you still leave your home, you know. So some type of, you know, dialogue if you're talking to the neighbors or the person on the bus or whoever you see every day, you know, it's some type of relationship that you'll have with that person or individual.
Sure. Okay. What about you,
I
Virgo
that.
Blue?
I second that, and that was what I was thinking about before he said it. I believe communication is everything, and without that, there's nothing. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I believe that they are necessary, but I think what the problem in relationships are is that people confuse their wants with the needs of a relationship.
It's
Okay.
true.
So, and what I say by that is, like, for example, there are some basic needs in a relationship, and this is a relationship between, people that are, I guess, dating or whatever. Intimacy. That's a need. That is a need in a relationship. Intimacy, it's an exchange of passion, feelings, thoughts, and opinions, verbal or nonverbal.
Mhm.
Right. The deeper you go with somebody, the more you really know about them. And intimacy does not necessarily mean sex. It just means having an intimate relationship. You have an intimate relationship with God, right? Supposed to,
Yeah.
right? He
Yeah.
knows all your secrets and all your good and bad and ugly or whatever. You know,
Mhm.
I think that you need to have that in a relationship. That's a necessity. Another
I would agree.
necessity when that is romance. That's a very a crucial element of a relationship. Affection, right? We all crave it. Although I'm gonna say this, Virgo Blue, women are emotional creatures,
Mhm.
but men need love too. So we need that. We need that. I think the most important thing with the need of relationship is friendship. That's number one.
Yeah.
That is number one. Would y'all agree?
Agreed.
Yeah.
That
Agree.
friendship is number one.
I think friendship is most important.
Yeah, because I guess
You need to
even
have a friendship.
In
yeah,
order to do anything else.
right. Because even if you're gonna be either intimate or in a relationship with anybody, same sex, opposite sex. I mean, what comes first is being friends, you know. Then when
Mhm.
you get to know the person, then you go to the next level, as in if you're dating or you're intimate or so forth, So yeah, I agree with you. Because
That's very interesting. So let's put a twist on it if you don't mind, Boz.
Mhm.
So if you're saying that it's very as a number one staple to intimacy and friendship, I mean, well, let me correct myself. Uh, creating that relationship by intimacy and also being, a friendship. What happens when a relationship takes the turn for something different, meaning that you're no longer friends?
Lack of communication is first
Well,
and
yeah,
foremost.
it could be due to lack of communication. It could be due to finance. It could be due to a gamut of things. But would you say that once that friendship is severed, that there is no more relationship?
no, I think what he's saying, not to cut you off, boss. I mean, you didn't get to speak yet. I think he's saying before anything start, excuse me. I guess it's like friendship first. Now, yeah,
Sure.
you can go, you can kind of, it can take a turn for the worse. Yeah, this motherfucker owed me $25 and he ain't pay fuck him, and
Mhm.
then y'all, broke up off that, or y'all don't talk because of that no more. But I guess in the beginning, I think I don't know that's what you was getting at, Boz, if you know, friendship first, just being, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing, young lady? Blah, blah, blah. You get to know her like you just said, boss, y'all go back 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So even if you all dated or you didn't date or anything, y'all was friends first,
Correct.
So
Correct.
now it can take a turn, like you were saying, E. Yeah, it could be this, that, but in the beginning, you all was friends first, And I
Yeah.
think I don't know that's what you was getting at, boss, but that's what I was trying
That,
to take it
that's
from there.
exactly that's exactly what I was saying. I was
Excuse me.
saying that the most important is friendship. You have to be friends before you go to any other level, intimacy, romance, or whatever.
Right,
You've got
right.
to be friends first. And that's the
Yeah,
most important because friendship develops trust.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but it all goes back into communication. Because once that communication is broken, like if you feel any ill will about, um, like if I borrowed some money from you and I didn't give it back, and then my calls are go null and void,
Right.
well, that communication is broken, and so that's when everything goes left. Because now I feel a certain type of way. I can't answer your phone calls because I feel like I broke the trust thing, and there it is. So it's all tied into communication. That's
Yeah.
the end result. If you stop the communication, break the communication, there goes the friendship.
Well,
Yeah.
the communication is very important. No doubt, no doubt. It's up there in the top 5 or 10, but also too a need. And I'll let you all kind of. It's a word that's used loosely, and I don't think that people know how to use this word. It's transparency.
Oh, preach, boss.
Okay, you might not like. I'm saying transparency, but you might not like my definition here in a second. So,
Okay.
so what I'm saying is transparency is all about sharing thoughts and feelings honestly without being judged or facing repercussion, right? It doesn't mean you have the ability to access my personal stuff though. Like my phone, my bank account, my email, that's not transparency.
Right.
Transparency is me to tell you fucking up and I need you to get your shit together. And you take that as not a put down, but you take that as some sort of
Constructive.
acknowledgement that I need to do better in certain areas of the
Mm-hmm.
relationship. It could be to me, but I got to be man enough to say, well, okay, yeah, I know I am, spending the money, not paying the
Right,
bills on
right.
time, and I know I am drinking it off or smoking it off, and I need to get my shit together or whatever. You could tell your kid some shit like that, right? Clean your goddamn room. You messed up in school, blah 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 blah. But are you adult enough to tell the mate, hey, what the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying?
Constructive criticism.
So,
Yes,
are you expressing that there's levels of transparency?
I expressed that there are levels of transparency, but there's one main level of transparency, and transparency does not consist of you having access to that person's personal stuff. That's
Well,
not
there's
being.
a difference between transparency and privacy. You
You
have to
But
have your privacy.
but some people
You
can't decipher between the two. Some people think that being transparent, is access to your
the whole
private.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing,
Well,
Yeah.
and that ain't what
that's
it
some
that's a
is.
very
people,
good reason why we have Google in the dictionary. You point them
but
in that
some people
direction.
do it. Some people do that though. They open it up to their significant other, their husband, or whatever, because that's just what they do. It's not for everybody, and I get that.
Right, right,
Right.
right.
But just because you don't do it doesn't mean you're not being transparent.
Or being faithful.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because a lot of people, I keep it 100. I got stock accounts and all kind of shit that only I need to know. I went to go see my lawyer yesterday and discussed my will between me and my lawyer, and don't nobody know what's on the
Mhm.
paperwork. They don't need to know
Exactly.
because they'll find out if I pass. And that's how I
Hmm.
do it. Because why do I do it like that, for example? Because I start showing people, well, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this. Well, why am I getting this and she's not getting that? And why am I doing it? Now with a whole new can of worms. If the will reads, none of y'all getting shit. All right. And that's it. And that's what you're gonna find out after I'm gone. Right. So, but all I'm simply saying is that that's the difference between privacy, as you mentioned, Virgo Blue, and transparency. And a lot of people have the two mixed up. They can't decipher between what's being transparent, what should be private. Right.
Yeah. Cause some people probably don't care. Like baby, go on my phone for a minute to give me this phone number out. And I look over at y'all and be like, God damn. you know, motherfucker, you know, and then you turn around, see, baby, he let me go through the phone and I can't even get you know what I'm saying? But it ain't meaning that I'm doing anything. It's that's my stuff.
He doing it.
Right. You know,
Fuck, that's him. It got shit to do with me.
And walked in the other room with your phone.
Exactly. You tell her that's their relationship. That's on them. What we do is what we do. That's what makes us a couple, not them and what they do.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't even fucking care. I don't care.
Yeah, but they get mad. People get mad. You know what I'm saying? They get upset. You know,
your email, your phone. I don't give a fuck about that. I got other shit to worry about. That don't mean shit to me. I'm worried about your phone, your bank account. You just make sure the money's in that motherfucking account when it's time to pay the bills. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care how you get it or whatever. It don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. You know,
it may not matter to you, but it mattered to somebody else. Sure. But I understand what you're saying. But
but what's being transparent is making sure you get that money in that account to make sure the bills is paid. That's transparency right there. You know, hey, you got enough to cover this? Yeah, okay. Now you being transparent. I don't need to know the amount. I need to know you got enough money to make sure these bills are covered.
Oh my word.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, too, another need is being fully present. Right. You know, able to focus, listen, and process conversations without being distracted.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
When you talk to people, what you say? I ain't hear you. It's like, man, I'm just blowing smoke. I'm trying to tell you how I feel. You're not even giving me no attention, no nothing.
Right. And one ear in out one ear and out the other. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even. Sometimes not even.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you're there physically, but emotionally you're left. You're somewhere else.
Right.
So sometimes it doesn't even touch that ear to get out the other one.
Right.
You know, and I think that we've all experienced that. I think that we've all went through it at some point in relationships in our lives that we either have been emotionally or physically, we were physically present, but we were mentally somewhere else. You know, and that could be something as simple as worried about, you know, a bill being paid or you know, you don't necessarily your job. It don't necessarily have to be, you don't have to necessarily be not engaged because of somebody else, but it could be something else that you weren't transparent about or that you feel you couldn't be because your mate or whoever you're with probably don't understand the concept of it because they turn a blind eye. You see what I'm saying? Now, before I go into the luxury part of it, do you guys have any other that you think needs that the relationships must have? You know, a need, a necessity.
I have something. Why is it that most men feel that they should not communicate those issues with their significant other, whether it be their wife or their girlfriend, when it comes to something that's making them disconnect in that time? You know, like say for instance, finances. You have that issue. If this is your lifer, your partner, why aren't you able to communicate that with them? That this is the reason why I'm disconnected at this particular time. Give me a minute, let me refocus, and then I can come back to you and we can get back into that conversation. Why is it? Is it a macho thing, or is it just the one that I had encountered, or what is it? Where's the disconnect? Because I'm an open communicator, and I like to communicate. I like to pull information from you, give you information. If you're asking for my opinion, I like to express it. But if I don't have that answer from you or whatever it is going on, I'm in the dark, and then that shuts me down. When it comes time for you to want to hear or whenever you want me to hear what you got going on, I shut down because it's like, whoa, what happened to the other day when I was trying to express to you my whole, process to you my whole day or my whole week, and you just disconnected. So what's going on with that?
Well, I think go ahead, Joe. You want to say something?
No, I think we don't mean it. And actually, I'm going through something like that now. And I don't know. And I really don't. It's kind of hard, like on my behalf, I can hear you, And I know what you were just saying, if it's in one ear and out the other, and if I was doing something, if I'm taking care of something, either let me finish that, or you trying to talk to me when I'm doing that, even though if you is telling me about this and that, let me regroup. Then we can kind of go back over what you was talking about. Then after all that, okay, now what you say, now what was going on? No, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. And then if I come in, if I want to say something, then you give it back to me, as in, now you not listening. And now you know, you doing you, and then it's gonna go into an argument, whatever. Fuck it, then it's whatever, and here it is.
But that's the problem. You are in this. You're involved and entangled in whatever your thoughts are.
Right.
You don't have you didn't give me the that notion to let me know, hey, I'm entangled in something right now. Give me a minute. So I'm continuing rambling on and telling you about my day and this and that. I didn't know you weren't disconnected. See, that's where the communication flaw is, because if I knew you as my husband or my man, I should have known there's something on your mind to not say anything at this particular time, instead of just going on and going on, but y'all need to, take that moment and be like, hey, babe, wait a minute, give me a minute, and then go into it. Don't let me do my whole spiel. And then you come back and say, oh, well, what was that you just said?
Right.
Well, first of all, y'all, is broad. Let's make sure we narrow it down a little bit. Okay. Some men, I want to make sure we clear on that. Some men act, that's how they respond and act, and that's how they talk about things. But see, I'll call stuff like that the fine print of the relationship, right? That's the shit you don't see at the signing of the document, right? It's the fine print. Everybody's got a fine print, whether it's how they manage their life, whether it's attitude, household stuff, hygiene, emotions, or whatever, or communication.
Right.
That's the fine print of the relationship contract that you get into. See, what we do is we jump into these and I can attest this. I'm speaking from experience. We jump into these relationships that everything looks good and rosy at the very beginning, and just like Michael Bivins said on the interview, he said, "Yeah, but will you be there for me? Can you stand the rain?" Right? So, will you be able to go through the good times and the bad times? And are you going to be transparent enough to talk about financial challenges, or also to maybe the way the house is being kept, or maybe some way the kids are behaving, what I'm saying? Is that going to be looked upon as an attack versus, constructive criticism to say, okay, whoa, time out. I need to do something to make sure, this wheel keeps turning, especially if that individual is paying for, I don't know, maybe 75% or more of the lion's share of bills in the house. Right? You want to make sure, because if that 75% is like a 4-leg table, right? And you got 4 legs up. Now you can move it, you can still take a leg off and that table still stands. And that's 75%, right? Now you take another leg, table gonna fall. So yes, you want to make sure that at least it'll stand on 3 legs. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm getting off on a tangent, but what I'm simply saying is, whomever or whatever it takes to make the house go round, that it make it work. You got to make sure that you and that individual, or if that's you or the other person, are working together to communicate in a good, bad, or ugly. But the problem is we don't do that. We talk about all the good shit, but when it comes down to, now it's emotional shit. No, yes, you're talking about me, and you don't think I could say to somebody, hey, I think you need to work out a little more. Why are you saying you think I'm fat? No, motherfucker. I'm saying I want us to grow old together and have good cholesterol and good blood pressure. But you look at it as a personal attack. You're not looking at it as a something that's going to help us be able to maintain, sustain good life. You see what I'm saying? But
that's how you say it.
It's all in the approach, I guess.
Right.
Like I said, you fat motherfucker. No. You need to. I would appreciate if you could, maybe eat some fruit and some vegetables versus some ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the fine print. That's what it comes down to, right? The fine print. And we just talking here. This is, men speaking out with a touch of Virgo blue. That's all. We just talking here. That's it. Yeah. You got something you want to add, E? You're licking your lips like Johnny Gill over there. You got something you want to add?
Yeah, my. I will add. I will add to what Virgo Blue and you also alluded to, Boz. I just think that it is a broad spectrum to say that all men when it's just most. And I think for what our dynamic makeup is that we have to be more conscious to tap into that emotion of being more tentative of what the communication is being rendered. Because here's the thing, most of us have been probably raised in an environment to where, if it's not detrimental to your health or your lifestyle, then it's in one ear and out the other. Give me some real concrete, like, hey, either you lost your job or my car just broke down, something really horrific, you know what I'm saying? Then that's going to grab our attention, but most of the time, if it's just something that, that may not matter to that person, your mate at that time, we do have a tendency to be less interested. And then that's something that men have to work on. And it's by default. I mean, we're built that way, but that doesn't mean we can't evolve.
Okay.
And I think that comes within the relationship that you're in on how much weight is put into the conversation and how much it means. Because most women will say, you know what, this dude ain't listening to me. I'll come back at this dude in a minute. He watching the game, or he's working on his car, or he's busy at work. What I got to say right now maybe can be put, on pause for a moment. But hindsight 2020, that woman has to know the gentleman that she's with. You know what I'm saying? To be able to say, hey, this is real talk. I need you to listen to me right now. This is what I got going on. I need a listening ear. I need your support. And if you have that tactful way to communicate with your spouse, your person, your significant other, then I think that helps better that male to understand, hey, you know what? Let me pay more attention. Let me be, in the here and now, and not come back 30 seconds like, hey, what you just say? Oh, I'm bad. My bad. I'm sorry. That went right over his head. Then now you have the friction. You have the argument.
Right.
You never listen to me. Nothing I say matters.
Yeah.
It's all about you, this, that, and the third.
Yeah. So, yeah. When Boz called, you would talk to him though, but you won't talk to me.
Yeah.
See, I've learned with that. I can incorporate a football play in a conversation, and he'd be like, wait, what?
Right.
Because I incorporated that in, and now I got answers.
So right. Receive it down there. You never receive it. Keep missing the ball. That's me.
But you know your spouse, your man. Right. Because the thing about that, men are always competitive, aggressive, confrontational, things like that. So those are triggers. We already involved.
Yeah.
Even if it had nothing to do with us, we already involved.
And if I see, like from someone like myself, if I'm knee deep in a computer problem and I'm trying to, and I'm doing research and that's just what I love to do. I really block out everything. And so I really got to cut the machine off to really get my attention because I'm engaged. Right.
So you meaning that your spouse need to go straight to the circuit breaker and just kill the power?
Let's kill the power. Let's kill the fucking
power. Or just say how many megabits is in there and how much money can I get for groceries?
Yeah, like
right. There you go.
What? Gigahertz.
You got little hocus pocus in there.
What? Hard drives? What? Yeah.
But those are good icebreakers though. And that way that you can be able to not cause that uneasy conversation and still say, hey, I need your attention.
Right.
Now that icebreaker is in there and you're paying attention to me, hey, I didn't have a great day today, or this happened to me today, this, that, and the third, but those are tactful things by being in the know and communicating who you're working, who you're dealing with, to be able to create those environments for approach.
That's true.
That kind of is a good segue into the list of luxuries, right? And one luxury that I have listed is time, right? Time, what can and what you can't afford to do, right? It's called relationship time allocation. Having somebody to spend time with. That is a luxury, I think, of a
It,
relationship.
it
You
is.
know,
It's
because
imperative.
yeah, because if you in a relationship and the other person doesn't have time for you, then are you really in a relationship?
Right.
Exactly.
You know,
I should never have to be penciled in for sex or for anything else. I shouldn't have to double dutch jump in to get my time in order for this to be a good
hey,
a good day or a good.
what your boy Marty Mar say?
I just like your first choice. When she said pencil in, she's like sex. Yeah.
He said, yeah, yeah, Tommy. Uh-huh. Yeah. Check it.
Oh
Let me
man.
check my Palm Pilot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, too, another luxury, and this is a big one. This is a big one. Money. Money is a luxury. People
Absolutely.
say, money ain't important and money ain't this. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Yeah,
Yes. It is.
yeah, you say that,
Money
right?
is.
You have to have money to eat, to have lights, to have water. So yes, it's imperative.
Yes, and it's a luxury, right?
Yeah.
Because you get an opportunity to have travel, enjoy that, and that money works with time, right? People say,
Mhm.
I got more money than time. I got more time than money. They work hand
Mhm.
in hand because if you are financially stable, then that reduces worry,
Mhm.
right? That also reduces stress. It
Mhm.
gives you the opportunity to enjoy each other, spend more time with each other. But
Absolutely.
money is very important. Would you
Yeah.
all
If you're living in
agree?
society, unless you're living on Paradise Island and living off the land, it's a necessity.
Yeah, it really is. And so
Yeah.
and that people just really irk me when they say that, well, money shouldn't matter. Yeah, the fuck it do all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
day.
True.
Resources is another one. That's a luxury. Resources. I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Hey,
Mhm.
my car's down. E, do you know somebody, a mechanic? Hey, Jamil, do you know a computer guy to fix my computer? Hey, resources, someone to answer the question, to give directions or instructions to assist in something genuinely that has your well-being in mind.
Yep.
That's a
Agree.
luxury because I know plenty of people who don't know anything. Not saying I
Or
socialize with them, but they don't, they can't provide any resources. So at the end of the
Mhm.
day, and I really don't like calling people resources. I really hate that word associated with individuals, but for this podcast, that's for the listeners. They can kind of relate to what I'm saying. It's resources is huge. Having somebody or having a point of contacts to do certain work that's needed, or for that matter, a lawyer or a physician or a trainer, a gym trainer. It's
Travel agent.
travel exactly. So resources. So that is a luxury. Um,
Mhm.
and last but not least, I mean, there's a lot of them, but I think this is really a big one. I think everybody wants this. I think it's peace.
Woo.
Peace, peace. Having a partner can be like a vacation. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Even a distraction from reality, a distraction from problems, work, stress, whatever. Having the right person can make the relationship a great luxury.
It's
You
true.
see what I'm saying? Because you got somebody you can escape with.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
That
you
goes
know,
hand in hand with understanding as well.
true, true. And I think most men want that's the main thing for us right there. Peace.
Oh yeah,
That's
absolutely.
that's it. We got guys, dying off in their 50s, because
Yeah.
of stress. And we fight enough battles outside the home. Why we got to come in the house and fight another battle, especially if we're doing everything to maintain a household, bills paid, things fixed, things whatever.
Mhm.
There should be no problems.
Right.
There's gonna be a few questions or two. I get it, but
Keyword should.
yeah, but we want peace. That's it. The older we become, we seasoned professionals. We don't want to be going through all that rigmarole, you know.
Right.
And I think
Right.
nobody wants it. I think women that are definitely on board with that too. Most women. I shouldn't say all women, but I'm gonna say most women. You know, what is there any other luxuries you guys can think of that might require?
That would trump peace.
Yeah, that would trump. Well, not necessarily trump peace, but just could be added to the list.
Well, shit. You basically hit it all. Like communication, peace.
Sexual relations.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's part of peace, right? That's part of peace, right? A distraction from work, stress, or whatever. That's part of peace because if a man is sexually satisfied, okay, or a woman for that matter, right? They are escaping from reality because they are in their own little bubble.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that's part of peace. You know, whether it's a piece of ass or whatever, it's part of peace.
I would always post, let me be your piece, not your piece. Yeah. But
I'm just saying that's part of peace. That's right. Peace is some shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, I guess I'm gonna give you guys 5 things, and you tell me which one is the most valuable characteristic in a relationship.
Sex.
Okay, I haven't started talking yet, Joe.
Oh, okay.
God damn. All right. All right. So, trust. I'm gonna name them off. You might want to write them down. I don't know if you can retain this information or not, but I'm on.
They're only 5 though, right?
Only 5, yeah.
Okay.
All right. And I'm not putting them in no particular order, but I want you to give them back to me in the order. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me know when you're ready. All right. So the first one is trust. All right. Second one is support. The third one is respect. The fourth one is communication. And the fifth one is boundaries. So what I'd like for you to all to do is to give them back to me in your order. There's no right or wrong with this. It's just you're giving me your perspective about the most valuable. There's a bunch of them now. I just narrowed down to 5.
Right.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
How did love not make your list of 5?
It's okay. The most valuable things, characteristics in a relationship. Love. Okay, let me make sure I'm very clear on something. Okay. Make sure very clear. Love is important, but love is not as important.
Why isn't it?
Because you can love somebody all day long and still be disrespectful.
Preach.
You can love somebody all day long and still not talk to them.
Uh-huh.
You can love somebody all day long and don't support them.
But that makes it important because it trumps all. You love somebody and not have the other things.
Right. I'm not saying love is not important. I'm just saying we know there are just some things we automatically know, right? We know that love is the top of the food chain. We get that, right? I'm talking about items, characteristics. You know, love is an action, not necessarily a characteristic. So I'm talking about characteristics that you think from 5 on the number 1 are important in the list I gave you, right? We know love is important. Love is an action word, you know. But what characteristics are part of love, though? Right? Compassion, understanding, friendship, listening, caring, holding, talking, expression, empathy, understanding. You can love somebody and show all those characteristics.
Those are good, guys. Those are good.
So, what I'm asking is your top 5. Give to me in order that you think. Virgo Blue, ladies first.
First of all, they're good, and most of them are pretty much all of them are tied to me because it is what it is. But my number 1 is respect first, because if you respect me, then that gives me the opportunity to learn to trust you. So trust is 2. I think, let me see, trust. Communication 3.
Mm-hmm.
I believe boundaries is 4 and support is 5.
Okay.
But like I said, I believe that a lot of them are tied but all of them, without respect, the rest of them wouldn't even play a part.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What about you, JD?
Excuse me. Dang. I say communication, number 1. I think that's right out the door. You gotta have that communication with that person, just to see where they at, where you all both on. I think number 2 can be respect. I respect you, you respect me. 3, the trust, because then you kind of coming up on it, you trusting in each other. 4, the support. We support each other. And then I think 5, just the boundaries. Don't touch my phone. This my shit over here. You keep okay, then you already in. But like you say, you can't go wrong. You're right, you can't go wrong. They are good ones. But I think that number 1, she said respect, number 1. I say communication. So I love to hear what E got to say, and then you, boss.
Yeah.
But I'm with communication, Virgo. I mean, I don't know, but respect, that's not bad.
You gotta communicate to anything. So yeah, you're right. That's good.
All right, E. Was it love?
I'll say communication is first.
Mm-hmm.
Respect is second. Boundaries is third. 4. Okay. What's the other 2?
Trust, support, and boundaries.
Trust and support. 4 and 5.
Trust and support. Okay.
All right. So mine is communication, respect, trust, support, and boundaries is last. And I'll tell you, and Joe, it's the same order yours was basically. Communication is huge, right? Communication is huge. Communication. Some people don't know how to communicate. Some people receive communication differently, and I think that my brother said something on a podcast. He says, I don't know if y'all remember saying, he says, when people get in relationships, it's not what you didn't know about the person, it's what you didn't ask about them.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? When something comes later on, you're like, well, I didn't know that. Well, you didn't ask.
Right.
Yeah. Did you ask all the right questions?
Yeah, exactly. So
some things can be displayed later, though.
I'm sorry?
Some things can be displayed later, though, in order for you to.
That's true, because you meet a person's
people evolve.
That's what you mean. You meet a person's.
Can I say something real quick? The reason why I said respect first is because you have to respect a person first before you communicate with them. You got to see them from afar. You got to look at it, see how they before you even come to approach them.
Sure.
Once you approach them, then that's whenever everything else falls. To me, that's the reason why I said respect first.
Gotcha. So you
and I think Boz can agree. There is no right and wrong answer. I think in any of the 5 selections, it's just what's most important to you and how you work dynamically.
Right. Exactly. And so when I'm hearing Burger Blue, you said respect, but isn't respect earned? Right. So they got to earn your respect before you start talking to them. Right.
Well, first of all, if you approach me, hey, shawty, cat calling me, that's not respect. So you're not going to get no communication from me. I'm going to kindly walk away, chuck up the deuces, and keep on going. And then your next approach won't even be successful because the first approach is everything.
So if I came to you and said, hey, sweetheart, you have a smile that brightens any man's bad day. I want to know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I throw you in the air, you turn the sunshine.
Did you see I just lit up? I just glow like the sun. Did you just see that?
Oh my goodness. It's a line of the Harlem Nights.
Yes. Stick to the scripted lines that you know.
Sunshine.
Hey, tell your mama I ain't coming home.
Oh my goodness. No, that's good. So last question for the podcast. The last question is, what do you think holds relationships together? Think about it for a second.
Communication.
I can put the Jeopardy music on.
Communication.
What holds relationships together is the growth that you had while in the relationship. If you didn't have any growth, or if the growth you did have fell off,
I'm going to add to what JD said, communication along with effort, because if you don't, you can communicate all day, but if you don't execute the effort in a relationship, it's not going to maintain or grow.
Grow.
All right.
Gotcha.
So faith without work is dead.
So I actually have one more question. I was kind of contingent on time. I was thinking about asking this, but we got time. So the question I have is, do you think there should be, and this is around boundaries, right? This is around boundaries. This is part of the 5 boundaries. And this is boundaries in sex, right? Do you think that you should have boundaries in a sexual manner with your mate? As in, I ain't doing this, or I've never done that. And, I'm just curious just to hear. It don't necessarily be gross or nasty or something. I just want to hear an honest answer.
My honest answer could be, I used to work in social work. So some boundaries could be an issue in sexual relationships. Some people have been molested in their youth or whatever, and a certain part or a certain sexual position reminds them of what happened to them in their past, and it kind of turns them off. Whether they express that to you, is a problem, because if they don't express it, you're mad and not knowing why they're not allowing you to do this certain position. But I think it could be, and that will be the issue that would kind of cause the boundary.
Yeah, because you never know if the person don't say it, you won't know, So, but yeah, I'm with you on that one too. So yeah.
So at the end of the day, it all ties back to communication.
Communication, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And trust.
So, knowing your mate, because if you knew your mate, they would have told you, pretty much everything.
Right. And then if you do get into that position or whatever, you won't even do that, because you already know your mate don't like that, so you won't do it. So yeah, you're right.
Exactly. What about you, Johnny Gill? What you think? Huh?
My belief is there shouldn't be any boundaries, but with the communication, you have to understand if there are.
Yeah.
Gotcha. My biggest thing is what happened behind that closed door between you and that individual, and it should not be shared. Number one. Number two, if y'all want to swing from the goddamn on light post or the TV and do whatever, hey, that's fine too. But it's in the privacy of your own environment, and what happens, and we're all adults here. So
I mean, right. But what she was saying though, that person could have been through something,
no
and you can't say, well, here you go, take another drink, and just loosen up and forget about what, Uncle Tom did or whatever this and that. Now, if you just on something just behind closed doors, then yeah, of course, shit, turn the music up and let's.
Because
let your hair down.
There's a lot of trauma, even in seasoned adults. There's a lot of trauma from childhood stuff that never ever gets resolved, and we carry that through our entire life, and it's awful.
That's your next topic. You're welcome.
Okay, all right. I'll let you host it. I'll be the guest. You can be the host. Hey, well, listen, man. I want to thank you all very much for taking time out. This is New Year's Eve 2021. This is the final podcast of 2021, and I'm very fortunate to close it out with my man JD, Big E, and Virgo Blue, and I'm Boz.
Yes, sir.
And thank you all very much. I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful new year, and I hope that you all have success, peace, communication, trust, respect, and set your boundaries in 2022.
Oh yeah.
It's all good. All right, y'all. Love y'all.
All right, peace out,
man. Be peace. Y'all have a good one.
Y'all.